10, 9, 8, 7, 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and we're live.
Woo!
And we should be live. So.
We'll be live right after this message from whatever sponsor that you're probably watching. That's good, right?
We're watching our live stream while we're live streaming, and we just got an ad.
No, that's good. So we can see when they see the ad.
You got to skip it so that we can see ourselves.
We will see ourselves now.
There we go.
Some people might not skip the ad, Chris. Maybe they're enthralled by whatever advertisement YouTube/Google chooses for them. Anyways, welcome to the Rich Alvarez channel and the Rich Alvarez stream, which now we're calling Just Chatting with Rich and Chris. Today's topic, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So, Chris, before we get into it, let's cover a few ground rules with the Rich Alvarez stream, right? You know, first of all, thank you for coming.
Thanks
if
for
this
jumping
is your
in.
first time on the Rich Alvarez channel, then congratulations, you've avoided us for 20 years somehow.
Quite the accomplishment.
If you're new, please subscribe, even if you hate it. Because it really helps us out. It really helps us. You know, you've heard all the YouTubers that are like, hit the subscribe button because the algorithm, blippity boppity boop. But, you know, that's all true, actually, and it's very sad. So, yeah, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, that would really give us a whirl, right, Chris?
It would. So, Rich, what are we talking about today?
Today, Chris, thank you for asking. Today we are talking about Nintendo's new announcement, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And you know what's funny about this? So Chris and I didn't even plan to stream today, but I was watching the Nintendo Direct, and I was like, you know, we got to talk about this, because I know if we don't talk about this today, then we're never going to talk about it.
True.
We got to get on it. And I'm happy to say that we are reacting to something that Nintendo talked about this morning, which officially makes this the first time in years that Chris and I have actually reacted to something that happened the day that we're reacting to it.
We're actually timely about a very important Nintendo update. We're basically a Nintendo news update channel today.
So, Nintendo's Direct today overall, in my opinion, wasn't super impressive. They talked a lot about like updates and DLC for, you know, the new Donkey Kong game and, you know, all these ports that are, you know, 7 years old that are coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Tennis. But there was one thing in the middle, Chris. There was one thing in the middle that I was like, I'm calling Chris, and we're going to talk about this now. And that was the announcement of the second Super Mario movie. They're now calling the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, they showed a quick teaser that just showed Mario sleeping, as he does, and it, you know, went up to the sky and into space and said, Super Mario Galaxy movie. So, there was no substance of this trailer.
It was very much just a teaser.
Yeah, a teaser title announcement sort of a thing. But I was thinking to myself, wow, you know, like, and then of course Nintendo was like, also, Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 now coming to the Switch 2, you know, of course, so they'll time it to the movie. So Chris, we've been talking, right?
Oh, we've been talking. We've been talking a lot about their choice of titling it Galaxy.
Right. Well, like, so I'm of two minds, if you will, Chris. I'm of two minds. I will say, on the positive side of things, awesome. We got the announcement the movie's coming out next year. I really enjoyed the first one. I really enjoyed the first movie, so I'm looking forward to more adventures on screen of Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, etc. You know, and I think that you know, it should be pretty good. I really like the humor in the first one. I really like where they went. So I was excited, to see the second one. But then they kind of threw us for a loop, in my opinion, a little bit with the Galaxy, because
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, because the first movie cherry-picked a bunch of elements from the Mario universe to make a movie out of it. And, you know, they kind of made sort of a quasi-original story around a bunch of Mario ideas.
That's true.
Now they told us, you know, through the Direct that they'll still do that. They'll still get from all over the place, but it is mainly taking from the plot of Super Mario Galaxy, which I find fascinating, Chris.
Yeah, I find that really interesting because I would have guessed, I actually didn't even mention this in our prep chat, but I would have guessed they would have just called it number 2, like Super Mario Movie 2, you know?
Like everybody else.
Why not just put number 2 on it? But of course it's Nintendo, and they didn't call it the NES 2, you know? Well, they did call it the Switch 2, but...
Well, yeah, we're living in the age of the Switch 2.
But if they weren't going to call it number 2, there's a lot of other games they could have selected the title for it.
Logically, you go, after Brothers, you go World. And, I was joking earlier. I was like, you can't really do 64 because that's so out of context and it wouldn't make sense for a movie. But it would be, World, then you could do Super Mario Sunshine, and then Galaxy. But, they decided to skip 20 years of lore, and that includes the Mario Land games, by the way. We're skipping, the introduction of Princess Daisy. We're skipping the introduction of Wario. We're going straight to Galaxy. And, of course, we're assuming that Rosalina will be a part of this story. They did show Luna at the very end of that teaser trailer. So we know wherever there's Luna, there's going to be Rosalina, right? So anyways, I said I was of two minds. One, I'm super excited because I love the first movie, and I'm excited to see what they do. But the other half of my brain is trying to... it's the super nerdy part that's like, man, that should have been Super Mario World, man.
Well, yeah, and that's what surprised me because it would feel like before you go to Galaxy, World would kind of be the next logical step.
Right, yeah.
So... that's what I would have guessed they would have gone with, because that makes more sense than calling it 64, just because 64, was because of the console, whereas World is very broad. It means the next thing. And then the other thing I was thinking was the newest game in the Mario franchise is Odyssey. So that would have been my other thought, like, well, why not call it the Mario Odyssey movie? And then, Nintendo releases Mario Odyssey 2. And then, we get a tie-in, but
they haven't made Odyssey 2.
They haven't.
They
made
probably
Odyssey
haven't
2.
even working on an Odyssey 2.
What they have been working on is the Galaxy 1 and 2 Switch remaster upgrade
Which I would
packs.
assume that they didn't start remastering until they knew that's the direction Illumination was going with this movie, and now they got to time those sweet releases to get the most money out of it, right?
Yeah, so it was a very interesting choice going with Galaxy, but the more we talked about it, you had some interesting thoughts on why they decided to go with that.
Yeah, because let's pretend we're the writer's room at Illumination, right? And, we got minions on the brain and everything, right? And they're just like, okay, so what are we going to do now? Because we did cherry pick a lot of the good staple elements of the Mario Bros. Now we got to come up with an even more original plot for the second one, or we could borrow a plot from the games. Now, outside of like the RPG series, like Mario and Luigi, or like, Superstar Saga, Super Mario RPG, if we're just talking like the mainline Mario games, most of them don't really have a strong plot outside of the princess is kidnapped. So then we look at Mario Galaxy, which arguably has one of, if not the strongest plots among the games. So if I'm the Illumination writer's room, I'm saying, hey, you know what? We should really look into doing Galaxy as the next movie, because that plot is solid and it's all there. We just have to write jokes around it, So that's where I was thinking. It's like, also Galaxy is a very popular Mario game. There are kids, now adults, that grew up, the kids that are 10, 20 years younger than us, that they grew up with Galaxy, and that's like their Mario game. A lot of kids grew up with the Wii, which, Galaxy was on originally, and like, I always hear, oh, Galaxy's my favorite Mario game, which is funny, because, I was out of high school when Mario Galaxy came out, So, I mean, to me, it's like that one that I played a little bit, and I was like, yeah, not Super Mario World.
Yeah.
In fact, I might even like Odyssey more than I like Galaxy. But, it was a really great game for the time, and I can't wait to play it on the Switch, too. I'm sure it'll be amazing. But, it's a very... What do you think, Chris? Let's go to your thoughts.
Yeah, well, long story short, I think you are right that it probably has the best plot, or maybe not the best plot, but the most fleshed out plot. Like, there's clearly a story there with Rosalina. In fact, like we were talking about, there's even potentially some story they left on the table that they decided to cut out. I know Matt Pat has a really good theory about how Rosalina's like Luigi's long lost daughter in another alternate timeline. So they feasibly, they have a lot of story material that they could work with. Yeah. They probably also wanted to introduce another princess, and Rosalina would kind of be the next choice. That's a huge fan favorite.
Yeah.
And of course, the Wii was massively popular. So many people really liked the vibe, the mood of the slowly, unlocking the other areas in Galaxy. I mean, I barely played it back in the day. I did play it a bit, but I didn't get as into it as I had got into previous Mario games. Like, you guys know I love Sunshine. But anyway, long story short, I was a little surprised by it initially, but in hindsight, I do think that it makes sense. Obviously, it's one of the most popular Mario titles. They'll do a lot with the plot, and, they did a good job with the first Mario movie, kind of adding their own unique spin on it. So I'm sure they won't just tell the story of Galaxy beat for beat. They'll pull pieces of it and put their own spin.
They did say in the direct, after they showed the teaser trailer, that they will, I think, not exactly those words, but they did say they're going to be kind of, doing their own thing with it, and they will still incorporate elements of other Mario games, know. So, it should be similar in the first one in that it kind of is that, as Kevin said in the comments, a hodgepodge of ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think it's gonna be, I have confidence, if only because the first movie I thought was pretty good. And I thought they handled it well, and I'm excited to see what they do with it next. Yeah,
maybe they'll make another stupid Mario Bros. Joke.
Yeah, maybe they'll rip us off again, huh?
Another thing I wanted to mention, and credit to Sam, who's listening potentially in the background. I forgot, but Sam reminded us, and then I saw somebody in the comments also remind us, at the end of the credits of the first Mario movie, there's a teaser for the original real Yoshi, or I guess the OG Yoshi.
Right, yeah. So it was at the very end of the movie, or after credits, where they showed the Yoshi egg like about to crack open or something. And it's like, well, what happens with Yoshi since we're going straight to space now, right? Because it's interesting, because I feel like they could have made the whole second movie around the friendship between Mario and Yoshi. Really?
Well, I almost thought they were going to do a Yoshi's Island thing
or Yoshi's Island, but then they'd have to go back. Well,
but how would they go back in time, or with time travel? Or
hey, if they can make 2 Minion spin-offs, Illumination's got time to do a Yoshi's Island movie, right? To do Yoshi's Island right, you got to go back to the past and show that the Mario Brothers did go to the Mushroom Kingdom as babies in the past. And Yoshi saved them, or Yoshis.
Yeah.
And, but that's what I would do. We try to incorporate elements of that into our own show, Stupid Mario Bros.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, Yoshi, I guess, will be introduced. Here's what I'm saying. Either Yoshi's going to be, the true green Yoshi will be introduced at the beginning of this movie, or not at all. And they'll just, save Yoshi for the next one or something. I did find it interesting. Sorry, you go.
Oh. You finished, then I'll chime in.
I was about to change the subject.
Oh, okay. I guess I would say, I do think that because they teased Yoshi at the end, I have a feeling that Yoshi will probably be an important aspect of this movie. And they'll hopefully introduce Yoshi pretty early in the movie, and the OG Green Yoshi will be a big part. But they're also, of course, going to bring in Rosalina, so they kind of have to juggle both of those characters.
Right. Now, what I was going to say is what's interesting is that Nintendo confirmed today that Chris Pratt is returning, Anna Taylor-Joy is returning, same with Charlie Day, Keegan-Michael Key, and Jack Black. So all of them are coming back. They did not mention, curiously, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. But either that's and I don't think that he wouldn't come back for that, but I think that that's because they're still developing Donkey Kong's own movie.
Oh, right. So they didn't want to necessarily lock him in this movie.
It's probably because they're going to space also. There's no reason for them to go back to Donkey Kong Country.
That makes sense.
But also, they probably would want to save Donkey Kong for his own movie at this point, not saturate him too much in the sequel to Mario. But also, the teaser trailer didn't show Rosalina. We're all assuming Rosalina's going to be in it.
Point.
Because it can't be Galaxy without Rosalina, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, they also didn't mention who's going to be voicing Rosalina, because they didn't technically announce that Rosalina was going to be in it. Your thoughts on who could be cast as
So I'm just laughing at the comment from LinkNerd09, who said, "But I better see more Luigi screen time." I agree. Anyway, so who would be a good Rosalina?
So the funny thing is, sorry,
I was going to say, I don't know. It's actually hard to say.
The funny thing is, if it hadn't been for the first movie being the first movie, I would have actually picked Anna Taylor-Joy
Yeah.
to be Rosalina. That seems like the logical choice for that character, but they chose her as Peach.
Peach, yeah.
But that's probably because when they cast the first movie, they didn't realize they were going to do Rosalina in the second movie. And Anna Taylor-Joy is a good get for anything. You
She
know,
did a great
fantastic
job.
actress.
Because I was trying to think, like, who could match Anna Taylor-Joy in terms of just really good voice acting for an animation, and nobody's really coming to mind. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to read like some BuzzFeed top 10 best, like actresses that could play her.
Well, if we're going like early 20s,
I was thinking Sydney Sweeney, but I don't know if
I don't know if I see her.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she could do it. She's got a little bit of a deeper voice, I think, than. Although I don't know, that might work for that. Again, hey, you know what? I'm not Illumination.
Yeah.
They can test people and see what
she
they
was
want.
the first one that came to mind. I'm trying to think who else would be like the it girl right now. So I don't know. Hard to say. What do you guys think? In the comments, who do you think would be a good Rosalina?
Yeah, let us know we're gonna just get wall of opinion.
Yeah. What about Margot Robbie? Do you think she could pull it off?
All I'm thinking of is her Australian accent, which I know she can hide.
Well, she can hide it, yeah, because she hid it in Wolf of Wall Street. But I was thinking her.
I think she's a
She
little
too
old, though.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We got Chris Pratt as Mario, so
Yeah.
See, everybody's gonna have their own.
Yeah, everyone's going to have their own headcanon.
Hey, whatever.
Well, we got plenty of time to think about it, so there you go.
Somebody mentions Zendaya. That's good
That's
voice.
actually- that's
Again,
actually a good-
the voice actress doesn't have to look like
I know,
the
I'm
character.
thinking like famous blonde Hollywood celebrities, but Anna Taylor-Joy didn't have blonde hair. Or wait, is she?
She's not a natural blonde.
She's a redhead, right?
She's like a brunette.
Brunette.
She bleaches
I'm
her
not
hair
even
all
sure.
the time.
But yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be a blonde. So yeah.
No. I could see like the voice that Zendaya does for MJ in Spider-Man. I could see that being a decent Rosalina, I suppose.
EDMG's like Morgan Freeman as Rosalina.
And so I watched Mario and friends come to space.
Well played, EDMG. That's pretty good.
They were like stars twinkling in the sky. I'd watch it.
That's pretty good. Well, anyway, it'll be cool. Here's another one. Actually, I saw somebody else in the comments. What about Yoshi? Is Yoshi? Do we do a regular talking person? Because they probably don't want it to just be like they're probably going to want to bill a famous actor to do the Yoshi voice.
That's
so.
extremely divisive because
Isn't it Keegan-Michael Key?
no, Keegan-Michael Key's Toad. Yeah, Sam over there. I think that for Yoshi, here's what I'll say. They tried to give Yoshi a voice in the old Mario cartoon.
Hey, Mario.
No, it wasn't like that. It was just like, remember, he's like, Mama Luigi. The whole...
That's a Mama Luigi to you, Mario.
Wait, Adam Haddad said Christopher Walken. As Rosalina or as Yoshi?
Hey.
When I'm looking at this apple, I think I want to take it. I don't talk in a whispery voice.
That was so good.
This apple? What are you talking?
That actually would be pretty good. Oh, I like that. Chaos said Keanu Reeves is Yoshi.
Mario. Whoa. No, I'll say this. I think
You're
that
breathtaking.
I would be perfectly happy and fine if Yoshi stayed basically nonverbal. And just, maybe let out a little Yoshi here in a while. I can't imagine Yoshi like fully vocalizing,
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah. Well, that was a good little brainstorming session. So, Illumination, if you're watching this, which you're not, but if you are, hey, we gave you some good inspiration there.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Brandon Weimer, we're here because of the Nintendo Direct earlier. But that was the inspiration. I was like, Chris, get over here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Chris and I are going to ramble on, or at least I am, for about 5 minutes about stuff during the summer, like movies and stuff.
Oh yeah. So
During these 5 minutes, please, this is where, we want you to come up with your good questions. Obviously, super chats will take priority. We got a lot of you guys. We got 46 people watching right now.
be sure to give this a like
Yeah,
if you
I was going to say,
haven't.
please give this video a
And
thumbs
thanks
up.
for tuning in on this Friday
But
night. if
get your
you're in America.
questions in. We will interrupt. We will stop what we're doing. We will pay attention to only you if you put a super chats means that we drop everything and read your super chat.
I
Otherwise,
agree
we'll
with
try to
Rich.
get to all of your questions at the end. Anyways, so think about questions. Hopefully Mario related. But in the meantime, we got some catching up to
So
do.
it's been a while since we've done a live stream, and Rich has been itching to share his thoughts on some of the big movies
Right.
that we've seen.
I'm
So-
not going to ramble too long about everything, but I just wanted to mention the 3 big movies for me. Well, the 4 big movies, but we're going to skip
the
Jurassic.
5 big movies, actually 6. Okay, there's been 10.
We're going to skip Jurassic World this time because I feel like that's a separate conversation from the superhero movies. So primarily, I want to talk about Superman and then Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four.
Awesome.
And we'll say this. I know that everybody's pretty divisive about, like whether you loved the Snyderverse, the DCEU, if you will, or if you enjoy what James Gunn is doing with the DCU. I don't care about any of that. I just like to watch stuff that I enjoy. There was stuff in the old DCU that I enjoyed, The Flash movie had terrible CGI. There were parts of it that were still fun. I enjoyed Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. The rest of the movie was hot garbage. But, and I enjoyed Man of Steel, even though they changed the origin story of Superman completely, and whatever. Not completely. I just didn't like I'm not going to start a debate on here. I liked Man of Steel, okay? I liked it. It wasn't my favorite. My favorite up until that point, and probably still, is the OG Christopher Reeve Superman the movie 1978. That's probably still my favorite. Marlon Brando, Jarrell, the planet Krypton.
Oh, I think we got a super chat.
And we're interrupting everything we're doing to read this super chat from August, who says, and maybe you should get your phone out. Or
But Rich,
Chris's phone
It's
is
filming
recording us right now. August Babington says, coziest Halloweenish movie to watch every year. Ooh.
cozy. Oh, thanks. We got a hookup. Sam's phone to read
Thanks,
super chats.
hand. What's the coziest Halloweenish Halloween?
Oh,
I
man.
like that Halloween-ish because it doesn't have to be strictly Halloween.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm drawing a blank. What was that cheesy Disney movie with the witches? It was is it Hocus Pocus?
Hocus
Is that the one I'm
Pocus.
thinking? Hocus
Oh, I
Pocus.
love Hocus
Yeah,
Pocus.
that would be it. That would be it.
You know what? I'm gonna say Hocus Pocus too.
I was trying to think of just a kind of Hocus Pocus. There we go. Great question.
Chris, do we have plans to visit Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios?
We seriously should.
We should.
We don't have plans, but we should have plans.
Do you
And
think
that's-
they'd kick us
and
out
that,
if we came
and that
in
was
costume?
Link Nerd 09. So thank you, Link Nerd.
Thank you,
09.
Link.
Oh, and then also we just got a member,
Nintenja. Like a ninja.
like
but
a ninja Nintenja,
Nintenja.
who just became a member of the channel. So thank you, Nintenja. Welcome to being a member of the RichAlvarez
I
channel.
wonder if they have Disneyland rules though, where you can't directly dress as the characters. We probably couldn't dress up as the characters,
But if
we
we
could
did,
wear hats.
maybe they'd let us in for free.
Bet we could wear our
But
hats.
that would be really fun. I've actually been wanting to go, so we don't travel too much these days. But if we did, that would certainly be fun.
Thank you, super
Anyway,
chats.
thank you very much for the super chats, everybody.
We welcome all
appreciate
super
that.
chats. Anyways, what was I saying?
So you were saying your top 3 movies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
uh,
So I liked Man of Steel, but James Gunn's Superman to me, and again, this is just my opinion. You can all boo me and hate me. It's fine. I liked it more than Man of Steel. I thought it was truer to the especially Silver Age Superman comics. Man of Steel to me was good, but also was a take on Superman that was very serious and that was fine. It was fine for what it was. But to me, if we're talking about what I enjoy more, I really enjoyed just the Justice Gang and the goofiness of it and all the giant kaiju stuff, and it just felt more comic book to me, and it definitely had that James Gunn edge. And I'm a big fan of like the Guardians movies and Peacemaker and other stuff that James Gunn does. And I liked how it was just they had to just change one scene in the previously on Peacemaker to fit the whole show into the new canon. So like Chris hasn't seen it.
I was gonna say I'm like so behind on movies. So out of all three of these movies, I have seen 0 out of the 3. I have not seen the new Superman. I have not seen what was the other one? Fantastic Four, and then Thunderbolts. Was that number 3? Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. And I also haven't seen Jurassic Park. So I've been watching a lot of anime, which has been great. But that's kind of been the media I've been consuming. So I will just be listening to Rich talk about these movies.
Well, I really enjoyed Superman. I've really been enjoying Peacemaker, and I can't wait for Lanterns and Supergirl. And they just also announced Man of Tomorrow, the sequel to Superman. So I'm really excited for all of the upcoming DCU stuff.
Out of those 3, actually,
we have to
comment.
stop everything we're doing, Chris.
We do.
We have a new super chat from Nintenja who says, "Bro, I was watching you guys since Super Mario Bros. Episode 3 released so many years back. What do y'all think of the Zelda live action that's coming?"
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I forgot about that. They announced that, too. And great question. And also, thanks for watching us for
and they
so long.
they did announce the cast, but it's a bunch of kids that I don't know.
Yeah,
But, like,
I was going to say, yeah.
what do I think of it? I'm really excited that they decided to go live action.
Yeah.
First, because I know at first I was like, maybe they should just do it animated, but I'm really glad that they decided to go live action. However, that means that leaves a lot more room for error, though.
That's true. Yeah. I'll say this. When they announced that they were going to do the Mario movie, I was like, are they really going to be able to pull this off, or is it going to be kind of meh? And they nailed it. So I'm pretty optimistic they're going to do a great job. Obviously, we don't really know that much about it. We don't know if they're going to be pulling from like Ocarina of Time, or if it's going to be Breath of the Wild, or if it's going to be kind of a mishmash of like all the different Zelda stuff. But I am very optimistic, and I hope we learn more.
Hey, I mean, as long as it's good, and I know that's a broad term, but I just want it to be good. It doesn't have to be great, although that would be awesome. But as long as it's good, I'd be happy. EDMG super chats.
EDMG super chatted $1.99 and said, "Chris, you watching Clevatus?" Yes, I am. It is an amazing anime. It's literally the best one of like the summer season. And Rich, I think I might have pitched this to you, but I'll just very briefly. If you guys like dark fantasies from the 80s, like Excalibur, it feels like it's that gritty, cool.
Ooh, that's a big
feel.
promise, Chris.
Oh, Rich, I'm telling you, like, I know that I was like really like gung ho on solo leveling, and you were like, "Oh, Chris just likes this fantasy power leveling stuff. It's so cheesy." You would actually like this. It's right up your alley. I'll explain the plot very, very simply. It takes place in this medieval world, dark, gritty 80s looking fantasy. And the way it works is the different human races are landlocked, and they want to expand to the rest of the world. But there's 4 dark beasts that are guarding the expansion to the rest of the world. And there's this prophecy where every generation the king will make these magical blades called regalias, and each I guess generation these heroes go off and try and fight one of the dark beasts, and every time they fail. This time something unexpected happens, and then this crazy plot ensues. I won't say any more because I don't want to spoil it, but it is top-notch animation, amazing story. They're almost done. I think they have 1 or 2 episodes left for the first season. I know that you're very particular about the anime that you watch, but out of all the anime I've watched in the past several years, I think you would actually be like, okay, this one's pretty good.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Berserk, Chris. That's dark fantasy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's real dark fantasy.
It's not as dark as Berserk. I would put it at like PG-13 dark, not rated R dark, but maybe slightly leaning towards somewhere between it. I mean, it does get kind of bloody.
If there's
at some points,
one
but
thing
it's
to
really
take
good.
away from what Chris said in that entire 2 minutes, it's that you should all watch the movie Excalibur.
Anyway, but thanks EDMG for the super chat, and that is definitely my favorite one of the summer season. There's others I could talk
Excalibur is
about, but
awesome.
if I had to pick one, it's that one.
Anyways, back to what we were talking
Rich is
about.
like, now enough with Chris's dumb anime. We're going back to
What I
movies."
was saying was that I really enjoyed Superman. Anyways, moving beyond Superman now. The Marvel movies, way better show up than obviously I really enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine. But a lot of people were like, yeah, it's just because Deadpool, but now I really do think that this year has shown a massive improvement. And again, I love Marvel. I've never been like superhero fatigue me, And I wrote a song a few months ago that you'll never hear because it's not very good. It was called Superhero Fatigue, about how everybody's wrong and it doesn't actually exist. And it's just what you're experiencing is bad movie fatigue. And but anyways, that neither here nor there. The point is, I will agree though that the last 5 years have been hit and miss. There's been some good ones, there's been some meh ones, but this year I've really enjoyed everything. Unlike a lot of people, I enjoyed Brave New World, the new Captain America. Was it the best superhero movie ever? No, but why do we always have to expect them to be? Is kind of my thing. It was definitely not like lower tier. Like if we're going to go like the top, because remember there's like almost 40 Marvel movies now. This was definitely not a like bottom 20 movie. I would say that it's not like top 10, but it's in the high middle was Brave New World. Then they gave us Thunderbolts, which I think is a top 10 Marvel movie. I think Thunderbolts was awesome, and, slight spoiler, I'm glad that they revealed that it is the new Avengers. That's what the asterisk meant next to Thunderbolts the whole time. Really excited. I love the chemistry of that team. And again, I was just talking about how much I love like Guardians and James Gunn. This was a completely different dynamic. There is some humor in Thunderbolts, but it's almost like we got a more serious superhero team. Like they have their jokes and everything, but they're wildly different people, and the way that they have to come together. I'm not going to spoil much of the movie or anything. I'm just saying, like, I really enjoyed those characters, and it's a bunch of B characters that you never thought would work, as a team like that. And I thought they did a fantastic job. I thought it had one of the coolest villains and villain moments in all of Marvel. And I did think that it has one of the best, how do I say it without spoiling it? There were some interesting special effects at the end that I thought were really cool. And I thought that it went to a very personal place that we haven't really gotten from Marvel in a long time. I would say Thunderbolts might be my movie of the summer overall.
Wow.
And then there's Fantastic Four, which I really also enjoyed, and finally gave us the Fantastic Four movie that I always wanted. We've had like the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies. Those are the ones with with Chris Evans as the Human Torch. Those were okay. And then we had the Fan4stick movie a few years ago. That was okay. This is the Fantastic Four movie we've all been waiting for, and it was awesome. And we have a super chat, so I have to stop everything I'm saying. It's right. Mr. Tronfield. That's cool. Mr.
Tronfield generously super chatted.
Oh, of the East Coast Tronfields?
Tronfield said, "Love y'all. Found you from the Mario drive-through vids. With Halloween coming up, I'd like to know your least favorite horror movie."
Ooh, least favorite horror movie.
Least favorite.
Before I go into my least favorite horror movie, I would say, like, the funny thing is, I really enjoyed those drive-throughs. I remember we did those a long time ago.
We did. I think we started. We put some on our channel, then we put some on Machinima, but then we put them all. We did a compilation, thank goodness, and put them on our channel because Machinima shut down.
Do the first one in like 2009 or something?
We did
like
one
that?
at Carl's, and then we waited a couple years in like 8 or 9, and then we did a bunch in like 2011 or 2012.
Yeah,
and
then we were gonna do more in like 2015, and then we both were like, no. I felt bad for the drive-through people.
Yeah, I was gonna say back in like 9, 10, 11. It was still like people didn't always have phones in their faces and TikTok wasn't around. So I think people thought it was funny and we thought it was funny. But then as time went on, what we realized is like, hey, like if somebody's working at a fast food place, they're not going to want to have a camera in their face. Like that's kind of mean. So we were always trying to be fun and lighthearted. But then we realized like, we're not asking people for their consent. Like some people are really cruel with their prank videos and we decided we just can't do this anymore. But if you go and you look at all of ours, I'd say like 95% of them, people thought it was funny and played along. Like there's that one guy at the Starbucks that started doing a Mario voice and was like, how about Italian roast?
Oh,
like,
Italian roast.
And then he gave it to us for free, the drink. So that was, anyway, but long story short, thank you for the super chat, and that is cool that you discovered us through those.
But his question was least favorite horror movie.
Yeah, I forgot about
Troll 2. Trash.
I've never seen Troll 2, but I can't think of one that I don't like, so I'm just going to say what Rich said.
I've never seen it, but I'm going to go with Troll 2.
You never said I had to watch it.
And thank you, Trip, member for 41 months, says, I'm no Scott Otter, so I couldn't think of anything. It's scrolled. Couldn't think of anything clever or witty to say for this member chat. So hi, guys. Hi, Trip. Thanks for watching. And then we have a super chat from LinkNerd09 saying, I would like Matt to be Wario in the movie. I'm sure Matt would like to be Wario in the
Matt
movie,
would
too.
also like to be Mario in the movie. And thank you guys for all the super chats. We really appreciate it. That's nice to know that you guys still want to support our channel.
Thanks,
Very
guys.
kind of you. Here's another one.
Hamza Ali says, sorry, I'm like mid-burp. Hamza Ali says, +1 on Zebo's comment. Can we hear both y'all sing Stupid Mario Galaxy in the Mario and Luigi voices? Hope y'all have a good night. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh. I said stupid and you said super.
Well, didn't he say super? Oh, he said stupid.
We gotta do it again. 1, 2, 3.
Stupid Mario Galaxy.
Woohoo! I was doing more of a Mario voice than a Luigi voice, but hope you like it.
You know what? The funny thing is that physically, I don't think that I can do like all the actiony Mario stuff anymore. You know, I'm hitting almost 40 here, but you know that's why I think that's why in our last few Mario videos were just like the Don Mario, because I could just sit in a chair and be like,
those were really fun. I
Don
hope you
Mario's
guys liked
Pizza.
those.
I loved making those, but I think I was gonna say I can't physically do it anymore, but I think I do the Mario voice better now than I did back then.
It has
you know,
refined with
go,
age.
Mario time. You know, trying to get a little bit more into that Charles Martinet. You know, like
We got another generous super chat from Rosalina Bob 64 who said, "Why do you two love Scott Masterson so much?"
why do we love Scott Masterson so much?
Scott
'Cause
Otter
Scott Otter
is so funny.
You know, well, let's just say I hung out with Scott recently, and man, that guy, he's so cool. He is one of my favorite people. You know, he's probably not watching, but if he is, Scott, we love you. You're the greatest. Just what a positive soul. And
Yeah. I totally agree with
just
that.
a great guy.
Scott's always been really supportive, even though he doesn't live near us anymore. He's, done a great job keeping in touch. And I would say, if you want to know why we love his character, Scott Masterson, so much, look at the bloopers for episode 22 of the JMK.
Scott Masterson, damn it!
Like, you could just tell, you could just get a great vibe for Scott Otter, the guy, but then how much he loved that character and really got into it. So he puts his heart into it. He's a great friend, one of the funniest guys I know. I would say if you look at some of the best bloopers, even though I would probably have to say Matt Provenzel probably had the most contributions to our bloopers, the few times that Scott was in our videos, man, he came up with some great ones. The "Hope you have a nice day."
I mean, and did
still
you
quote it.
mention Scott's anger issues? Issues with
yeah,
Scott? Still
Anger Issues
probably
with Scott.
One of, if not one of my
One
favorite
of our,
videos.
our
you know.
best short sketches.
Love Anger Issues. If you have never seen Anger Issues with Scott, search later. Don't leave the video. What are you doing? Search after this stream is done. Anger Issues with Scott, Rich Alvarez, and prepare yourself for probably the funniest thing you'll ever see.
There was another comment I wanted to read. This is from Nintenja, who just became a member. It was a little bit
Nintenja!
earlier, but it was a very thoughtful
I
comment.
love the name.
Great name. Nintenja said, "Will you use any AI to help make more content in the future? I think everyone wants y'all to continue Stupid Mario Bros. Or some kind of ongoing fan series. Y'all are super good at it. World needs more." So, very interesting thought. I would say I don't think that AI is good enough yet for us to just type in a prompt and have it make Stupid Mario Bros. Content. But I will say this. I have been, just in the past few months, using AI way more than I had before. And I'm like blown away at how powerful it's gotten with just doing prompts for video and content creation. So I guess to answer your question, do we have any plans to use AI to make, new content? Not right now. It's a really interesting idea. But I am happy to hear that you miss Stupid Mario Bros. And would like to see more content. We don't have any plans to bring the series back, but I will say AI is interesting. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
AI is very divisive, depending on the context, especially. there, of course, that was a big part of what last year or the year before the Writers and Actors Guild
strike.
They're fighting
Yeah.
against the use of AI because they want to lose jobs. And the fear is that studios will, because, for example, when you join a series like Marvel, you sign away your likeness so that way they can do the action figures and everything. And that could also include AI. So they could, without even your permission,
Just type a prompt in to
like,
have AI act for
here's,
ya.
Paul Rudd is Ant-Man in this movie for 10 minutes. And he'd like watch it and be like, whoa, I didn't do that, So like what they're fighting against is the fear is that AI will be a tool that the movie studios use so they don't have to pay actors to do the roles that, and it could go further than that. Writers are worried that, studios will just use something like, a more professional version of ChatGPT to like start writing movie scripts. And the funny thing is as advanced as AI has gotten, I don't think it's gotten to the point, and I know that people have said, oh, but AI wrote this movie script. It's like, yeah, but actually, if you actually read those movie scripts by AI, some of them are actually pretty good, but like you can still tell that it's AI because of like weird little inconsistencies,
Yeah.
and that like they don't really have like gripping emotional. It's like you can almost tell it was written by a machine,
Yeah, and speaking of AI, there was something recently. I shared it with you.
the song,
Sadie
yeah.
Winters song, "Walking
Yeah,
Away."
I thought that was very
that-
interesting too.
So
Explain
long story
what it
short, I'll
was,
explain
yeah.
it real quick. So there's this guy named Rick something. He's a famous musician. I think his name's Rick. I forget his name, but there's a famous guy who analyzes why songs are good. So he did a video, and it was on the news, where he basically just did everything on AI. So he said, create a name for a girl who sings alt-rock music. And then they came up with Sadie Winters. And then they said, like, create what she looks like. And it's kind of interesting because she looks like kind of a emo goth girl, but like modernized for the 2020s, not like 2006. Then the very simple prompt was, he said, write me song lyrics for a girl who just got out of a relationship and she wasn't appreciated in her previous relationship. So it's kind of like a breakup song, but that bittersweet feeling of it. And it wrote out all the lyrics, and then it said, write the music. And then it was just like, brrr, and then it just went boom. And it was actually really, really catchy. And there was a comment in the YouTube video that said the reason it sounds so good is because it's an echo of a bunch of other songs you've heard by real humans.
Yeah, AI is compiling
But
a bunch of
taking
ideas.
a bunch of sounds. But I really liked it. So the song it's called Sadie Winters, and it's either called Moving On, or just type in Sadie Winters. But it was really catchy, and I liked it quite a bit, and I shared it with Rich.
They were using two things. They used or they used exactly ChatGPT to write the lyrics, and then put it into like something like, I think it's called Suno.
It was
which
Suno,
is
yeah.
the music creator.
And so it created the music, and it created her voice, and her voice sounded really good.
You can actually just tell Suno or whatever to make up lyrics, and it'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's better if you write the lyrics, or you get something to write the lyrics for you beforehand. I'll say this. That was a really interesting experiment because 99% of the time you don't get something that sounds that good when you do that. I would say that was probably the best one that I've heard, but even then, if you really like listen to it, it has a cool sound, but if you really listen to it, it's like the lyrics are like, they're not as sensical as you'd want them to be. But the problem is, and I have to play devil's advocate a little bit too. The problem is that so much indie music, the lyrics also don't make sense because a lot of indie writers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And it was so interesting because when I heard her voice, I was like, this reminds me of, it felt like I was getting deja vu. And again, it's because AI is it's an echo of songs you heard, except kind of remixed. To me, it felt like a mix of like Billie Eilish, a little bit of Taylor Swift, and then who's that girl? I think from Paramore, is it Hayley Williams? It felt like a mishmash of like those three. And then there was like a little bit of music that had a little bit of an 80s sound to it from like Gunship, that techno band we like.
Maybe.
But
I'll say
synthwave.
that it's okay, but like I don't think that it's but again, you could music is subjective, to everybody, so I don't know. To me, it was a cool experiment, but does not even come close to my enjoyment for real music by real artists.
Can't recreate a chemical reaction.
Well, I just think
For those of you who know, we made a video about that inside joke.
I just think that it's for me. I can't promise I'll never use AI.
Well, that's what I thought because I know you like creating music, but
I don't think I'd ever like. I don't think I'd ever like be like AI write me lyrics and be like, yep, final lyrics. You know what I mean? Like I think Kevin might have mentioned it earlier. It's like you could use AI as a nice springboard to be like, here's kind of like help you format or help you kind of see what you want, and then go like, okay, I'd rather have this and this and this and this. And like you switch out the lyrics or whatever, like I don't think that you should definitely go like copy paste with AI lyrics. And as far as the sound goes, I definitely think, you should have real singers, because, is Sadie Winters going on tour? No,
Well,
she's not a real person.
But she could. Yes. Thank you, Nintenja. It's Sadie Winters walking away. I was very surprised by it because it sounded like the kind of alt indie stuff I really would have like listened to in the last decade, because the 2010s had so many good alt indie bands. I mean, I know that they still do. I don't listen to as much new music as I used to, but I was really listening to a lot of music last decade. Before Spotify took off, I used to listen to the radio a lot, and we had alternative radio stations that played a lot of music that just sounded like that. So anyway, I liked it, and I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. And I think that AI is just going to get better. So Rich is a little more picky than me because he's more musically inclined, but to me, I was like, damn, this is pretty good.
Well, I just don't want the human experience to completely disappear.
Well, I agree with that too. There's already been jokes about people saying someday there was a great TikTok on this recently where a guy goes to the movie theaters in the future and he's like, "Hi, I'd like to see a movie." And he's like, "Would you like to see an AI movie or an organic movie? What's the difference?" "Oh, well, an AI movie will cost you $10 and it's made by AI. How much is the organic movie?" "Oh, that's $1,000 and it's made by humans." And the guy's like, "Holy crap." And it's like, well, you could watch the organic movie, but there's going to be ad breaks every 10 seconds.
The Whole Foods of movie theaters. Here's the handmade movie, and here's the produced movie. So I know exactly what Chris is saying.
Yeah.
Hey, that might not be that far off from the future for all we know. But as long as the Supreme Court did rule that you can't copyright anything
that
with AI,
was
so
fascinating. In fact, that is the interesting part. So I wonder if because they can't make money off of it directly, maybe they'll not completely take people's jobs. And another interesting thing that happened about a month or two ago was Mr. Beast. I know you don't follow him that much, but he is the most famous YouTuber. He created a tool where people could pay money to have AI create YouTube thumbnails. And there was this huge backlash from the YouTube community.
Well, Chris, we have to stop everything we'll doing.
We'll stop everything we're doing right now.
Because we got a very generous super chat from Impotent Rage saying, can we get another Arme Christmas, please?
Thank you so much, Impotent Rage. That is a very, very generous super chat.
Impotent Rage
of $50. So thank you so much. Great question.
And thank you for not saying stupid Mario Christmas, because that's obviously a lot harder to do. And I mean, what constitutes as an RMA Christmas, Chris? I feel like an RMA Christmas could just be like, I mean, if
you know what? Great question. So when you say RMA Christmas, my mind goes to the 2010 RMA Christmas that we did with Doug, where it was sitcom style. Now, that being said, I guess a less high intensity version of that would be if like Matt and Doug visited for Christmas, we could just get them for a live stream and do like a casual catch up.
One of them. It's so hard to get them in the area. Or Scott. I do it with Scott.
I will say this.
I would do it with just Scott. Sorry, Chris.
I know, right? I mean, you didn't mean just Chris and Scott. You meant just Scott without Chris.
I'm kidding. But seriously though,
you know what? If he did, guys, I wouldn't even blame him.
Scott's like, I'll do it with you, but I don't want Chris in there. I'd be like, sold. All right, no.
No complaints. Scott's that awesome.
No, we could.
You know what? Here's the thing, Impotent Rage. I would love to sit down. And by the way, Doug Orofino is the one that actually wrote the 2010 sitcom-y sketch, and he did an amazing job on that. So to do it justice, we would have to get Doug to probably write it because he had that really good sitcom energy.
I
for
don't
script
know.
writing.
Well, yeah,
But
I don't-
I was gonna.
well, I remember we asked him not. Okay, maybe it was like 10 years ago now. I don't know. We asked him a while back, and he. I remember him saying that he just wasn't in the right mindset or something.
Yeah, so I guess what I would say is this: realistically, with the way things are these days, a lot of our friends are grown up and they live in different states, and they're married or they're in committed relationships, and they probably aren't going to have time to dedicate a whole entire day to filming. So odds realistically aren't looking that good, but if they're in town and they're down to do a live stream, that might be about the best that we could get, and then we could, reminisce about the good old days. So, you could get maybe that. We'll have to see what if Matt and Doug are going to visit.
I have
but
no idea who's going to be in town for.
yeah,
because
because usually people, it's hard enough to even spend time to hang out with them when they're visiting, because of course they got to catch up with their their family as well. But Impotent Range, thanks again for the super chat.
Yeah, thanks, Impotent Rage.
We'll try. No promises.
It
but
actually
we'll try.
gives me a really good idea, actually, because in recent years, I found it very difficult to do something like even as ambitious as that video that you're talking about. But if I have been thinking about writing something that just involves whoever is willing to be in the video, just like a single scene at a Christmas dinner table, and just
Yeah.
like having a conversation and like, the arguments that may get it, it's like, it would be like a family Christmas, but it's like us and our friends, and for some reason, I would love to get Matt in there. He's like, well, I don't know why I had to have Christmas with you guys. I left my wife and kids for this. Like, it's like, sit down, Matt, eat your turkey.
Yeah, just to clarify, Matt does not have kids yet, but you do.
I do, but it would be fun for the video, Chris.
It would be fun though. That
And
would
I
be a
can't
funny
be the
bit.
one complaining about leaving my wife and kids because I'm the one forcing everyone to be there at the table.
True. That'd be funny.
Because, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's like, we're all going to sit down and enjoy Christmas as a family.
I will say a couple Christmases ago we did all those Don Mario shorts. Mm-hmm. I know it's not an RMA Christmas, but I would not mind bringing that back because that was really fun.
Or and then I wake up the next day and everybody's gone and I'm like, I made my family disappear. And it's like Home Alone. But then there's just like a note that is just like, nah, we all left. Like,
Oh, no.
you suck. Thank you, LinkNerd09, for another super chat. LinkNerd says, "Don't forget your pumpkin spice latte."
Because that was a
Ooh, I got something to show you.
That was a big deal in the the Christmas episode. I've had several pumpkin spice lattes this fall, and they're still delicious.
I'm not gonna get it. In my fridge, I have pumpkin spice creamer for coffee, so I can make my own pumpkin spice lattes.
I'll say this, Link Nerd. I love pumpkin spice. I'm very basic, but
Spice. Which is just like nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger,
and
right?
special fall seasonings. I've actually bought several of the Trader Joe's pumpkin spice, just regular ground coffee that you can brew at home. And then what I do is I put a little bit of coconut milk in to give it a nice creamy, zesty flavor. So I've been brewing pumpkin spice at home. The Trader Joe pumpkin spice is very delicious, but the Starbucks pumpkin spice you can't beat. It's
Now,
the best.
I can't have nearly as much sugar as I used to be able to consume, but back in the day, oh man, pumpkin spice with the pumpkin spice cream,
Oh, geez.
shots of pumpkin spice syrup all over pumpkin spice flavored whipped cream with pumpkin spice glitters or whatever, just the whole package. So delicious, but probably would kill me if I had one now.
Yeah, that sounds good, but definitely sounds like a little too much sugar.
Just put me in a coma. Doop, doop. What was the cause? Pumpkin spice latte. Yeah, Anyways, I can't get over Impotent Rage and their super generous super chat, and also the name is hilarious.
It is a good name.
Anyways, Chris, I forget what we were talking about. Before
I was talking about Mr. Beast and AI, so I'll finish that story. But happy to be interrupted for a super chat. That was very generous. So we were talking about AI and how there's kind of a tension with artists, and can you use AI to aid you as an artist, or are you going to get completely replaced? Basically, what happened was Mr. Beast made a tool where people could subscribe and just type in a prompt, and it would create a thumbnail. People were very upset because there's a lot of thumbnail artists, and that's how they make a living. And they said,
right.
"Hey, dude, you're not really helping the YouTube community. You're eliminating a bunch of jobs." And to Mr. Beast's credit, I was very impressed. He took down the software that was his AI tool, and then he created a new marketplace where any YouTube thumbnail artist could sell their services on his platform.
Well, that was nice.
So, long story short, I know we got another super chat. We'll read
Maybe
in a
the whole
second.
thing was a conspiracy, so that way he could sell his platform right now.
But long story short, kudos to Mr. Beast. I rarely watch his videos, but I thought that was very classy. Now, with that said, we have another
Captain
super chat.
Pineapple Crush. Love the name. Love pineapple. I love it. It's like Pineapple Crush. Thank you so much for your super chats. There's 2 of them, although the second one is retracted. Used to love watching your stuff as a kid, even now as an adult. How much of the old cast do you still keep in touch with / hear from? And then second message, maybe they accidentally did the same message twice. I don't know. Let us know. We would love to hear what your second message was. As we were just saying, I just visited Scott, a month ago or something like that. And, we'll occasionally hear from Doug and Matt, and sometimes they'll come into town. Everybody's kind of got their own life and is doing their own thing. But, yeah, sometimes we heard from...
Claudia reached out recently.
Wasn't that in the last live stream?
Yeah.
Claudia, who played Pauline in the show, she was actually watching the live stream and was saying it would be good to catch up sometime. So yeah, we'll hear from people every once in a while. Obviously, Kevin, who played Yoshi, is in the chat right now. So yeah,
there it is.
Says I'm one of them. Yeah. So
Yeah, I would say I probably do need to do a better job of keeping in touch because Super Mario Bros. Ended in 2012. It's 2025. That was 13 years ago. So it's kind of easy with. It's the line from "Don't You Forget About Me." Slow change may pull us apart, but I'll keep it together at heart.
I thought you were going to say what about side by side with a friend?
Yeah, I guess my point is it's very easy. The Super Mario Bros. Gave us an excuse to keep in touch with our friends. But as time goes on, it's really easy to life just kind of happens and you kind of drift and you just don't check in with people. So I guess I would say I don't keep in touch with as many as I should. And it's a good reminder to try and reach out to people. But I'd say at least some of our friends that we, hung out with regularly, like Matt and Doug and Scott, and then Kevin, we keep in touch with kind of the core group, but for the extended cast, there are some people I haven't talked to in years. And it's not that there's anything wrong with the friendship, just it's easy to lose touch. So.
Captain Pineapple says, accidentally bought the same message twice. Enjoy the 10 Australian dollars.
Well, thank you so much, Captain Pineapple. That was very generous of you.
Thank you. I think right now Australian dollars might be worth more than American dollars. So thank you so much. And hey, we owe you a question or something.
Oh, yeah. You asked us, you got a... Captain, if you want to ask another question, you gave us 2 super chats, so you got a freebie. We'll try and keep an eye out on the chat.
Ooh, okay. Anyways, Chris, finish your...
Oh, yeah, I pretty much finished it. But long story short, obviously, AI, there are some really cool things about it, and then there are some scary things about it, just automating too many jobs. It's
all scary.
I was kind of anti-AI, but now that I've been using it more... I've been pretty impressed by it. It's kind of... Anyway, I could go on a long chat about AI. Point is, Mr. Beast tried to make us AI service that was going to replace artists' jobs, and then he backtracked, and now he's helping artists out. I thought that was a great class act by him, and I think that, that was really cool. So I guess we'll just see what happens with the rest of AI, but... yeah, I liked that Sadie Winters song. It was pretty good. Rich was mildly amused, but
honestly, I wish I had heard it without knowing that it was AI, because I wonder how I would have reacted not knowing that it was AI.
yeah.
Because I have that bias, right? I'm like, oh, this isn't
You
real.
go in. You went
know?
in wanting to hate it. Well, the thing that blew my mind was I watched the video first of how they prompted it, and
Right.
like he literally just typed in one sentence. He was like, "Make me a song about a girl walking away or moving on who wasn't appreciated in her last relationship." And then I was like, "Oh, this is catchy. I like the."
The thing is,
yeah.
to me, it's like, I bet you I would have said, like, hey, that's not bad, Chris. But I think the thing that the real difference is, even if I didn't know, like, that it was AI, the kind of indie music that I'm into now is more like, if you guys know it, you know, Cannons, you know?
I do like Cannons.
And it's got a
Yeah.
little bit more of, like, a backbeat to it, you know, that's, like, almost like quasi, like, how do I say it? Like 70s, 80s, sort of, you know, they've got that sort of, like, you know, and I'm, you know, like, you know, and they have the real bass guitar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, guys, if you need Rich, to his credit, has probably influenced like 80% of my music tastes. And every once in a while, he'll get a new band that will just be so good. If you've watched some of our road trips to Fanime streams, I think we listened to some of them. But what's that one that is? It was they used. Is it Tunnel of You? Is that the one that has
Tunnel
the
of You,
guitar
yeah.
riff
The
that was
Tunnel of
a throwback to another song
Yeah.
that was used in Friends? That's where I remember it when Ross and Rachel first got together. But long story short, Cannons is a great band. Just go on Spotify, type in Cannons. I'd say Tunnel of You is probably the first one you should listen to.
Now,
It's
I
amazing.
can't claim to be a true hipster, at least not since like high school, but I will say that in the last 10 years, I am very proud of the fact, and this will sound nerdy and hipstery, I am very proud of the fact that I was addicted to Cannons before they got any popularity at all. Like,
Hey, Rich, how did the hipster burn his mouth?
because he ate the pizza before it was cool.
I'm glad you remember
Anyways, thank you so much. Let me read this right. Con Karaka, I hope I'm saying that correct. If I'm butchering that, I deeply apologize. Says, I don't know if I heard you right, Rich, but I somehow had no idea you're a dad now. So happy for you. Congrats. I got to get on Discord more. LOL. Well, I'm barely on Discord these days at all because, as you mentioned, I'm busy being dad. I'm surprised no one's heard the baby in the background making all the noise back there. But maybe these microphones are even better than I thought and don't pick up the background noise.
What?
Nothing.
The baby's camera shy.
That's up to you. I was going to say
Yeah,
that's up to
up to you.
Oh, I don't mind. You guys want to see the baby?
Oh, here we go.
It's Ripley's first stream.
I wasn't sure if you guys were comfortable if you wanted to make the public debut, but I think we're going to make the public debut. So here, I'll go ahead and I'll scooch over. Okay. You guys.
So hold on. Can they see? Is Ripley in camera?
She'll come in a second.
Oh
There
yeah,
she is.
So everybody, this is Ripley. This is my daughter. I have to say it like, oh hello, you know, my daughter. She is 4.5 months now.
No, just 4.
Just 4 months old. This is the youngest Alvarez, and she can't talk yet, but she just learned how to laugh like a week ago. But she's not laughing now.
No.
Baby Ripley, did you know your daddy's famous? Someday you're going to watch all these stupid Mario Bros. Episodes and you're going to think your dad is so cool.
Or,
Or
super
not.
lame.
I was gonna say, more likely she's gonna be like super lame. She's like, you mean you guys actually had to like open up a screen to watch videos?
You guys actually film stuff and didn't just prompt AI?
Yeah, like, you know, you're
What's
not
YouTube? I don't even know.
like
It's so old.
in order to watch movies, I just replace my real eye with my movie eye, and then it's playing in my brain, and I can interact with it. Ripley's just like, what? Future YouTuber right here, maybe. I don't know. No. Future president of the United States. I don't want to put that pressure on her either. Future local veterinarian. Or something. Hey, whatever she wants to do. Anyways, that's Ripley. That's my daughter. I can't stop saying it. Like, that's my daughter.
My daughter.
And look, she's smiling. Are you happy to be on stream?
She had a big smile on her face. She's like, I'm going to love being on camera someday.
I think she just wants to eat the microphone.
Oh yeah, do you want to eat the microphone? Don't actually eat the microphone.
No.
These are. This would be a very expensive toy.
Ripley, the world wants to know, what's it like being a baby?
No comment.
Oh, she's media trained.
Ripley's
No comment.
press agent here. No comment. We're saving all those for the real press later. Okay, well, that was Ripley.
And that was Ripley.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ripley has left the building.
Wait.
She's not looking, though. Ripley, look at the camera.
No, she's not gonna.
There she goes. Well, there you go, guys. So you just got to see Ripley's debut on YouTube.
Anyway, so that's the baby. So then, and we almost did this for SAC anime, but for all the right reasons that I can't remember now, we didn't go to the most recent SAC anime, but I think we said we'll try to make the
We'll
next
try and make
one.
the next one, yeah.
SAC anime winter. Ripley will probably be like strapped in a baby harness as either Baby Mario or Toad or something from the Mario universe. Something fun.
Baby Mario, or Baby Yoshi, or Baby Toad.
Or baby.
Baby.
But a baby version of something. Anyways, Chris, what else you got? Because we still got 44 people watching.
We got a lot of people joining us on this Friday night.
We had like 58 people watching a minute ago.
I was actually pretty impressed.
And then everybody who has baby phobia went away.
Nah, I think it's been ebbing and flowing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting I've been up to.
What else is there?
Yeah.
Swan Princess.
Actually, I have something mildly interesting. So I have the Switch 2, and recently I noticed that Red Dead Redemption 1 is available on the Switch. So I bought it, and I've been replaying Red Dead Redemption 1 from 2010, and it still holds up really good.
I love Red Dead Redemption. And 2. But
of course, I was playing 1, and then I never beat 2. So it made me start to think of 2. So there are people that do these cinematic cuts. So I started watching the cinematic cut for Red Dead Redemption 2. And then that channel did a cinematic cut for the Final Fantasy Rebirth and Remake. So then I started watching some of that, and it just got me all nostalgic. I was going through a weird video game rabbit hole, as you can see. But it got me very, very nostalgic because I realized I never played Final Fantasy VII, but I heard you talk about it my whole, adolescence and 20s, and I remember you used to play the song on the piano. So my whole, just because I was watching cinematic cuts, now my whole YouTube algorithm is just full of Final Fantasy. And you were just saying they're going to put that on the Switch too also, right?
Well, yeah, they're putting the first part on Switch 2, which is cool. But I mean, it's, so it's Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then whatever they call the third one.
The last one, yeah.
But the thing is, I love them to death.
I was going to ask if you liked them. I know you talked about them
Oh,
before,
yeah.
but
No,
wanna
I
hear
love
again.
them to death. I have a hard time battling in my head whether I think that they're better or worse than the original. And ultimately, I come to the conclusion that I still think that the way that the story, just the basic story, I still think is better in the original. And if that's just nostalgia talking, then whatever. I love the original game. I think that in order to even fully appreciate the remakes anyway, I think you have to have some notion of what happened before, because there's little things where it's we're getting into causalities and double, realities and stuff like that, which is really cool if you've played the original. And people who haven't will be like, huh? But I still wonder if would it have been better to just wait until they were all done to release it as one game. But they're so big on their, each one is the first one was 30 hours, then that second one alone was 60 hours.
Wow.
And it's they're really expanding on what was already there. So, I'm just impatient and I just want the third one out now, but you know.
I was really impressed when I was watching some cutscenes from the game how freaking good the voice actors are, specifically for Cloud and Tifa, because you guys know me, I watch a lot of anime, and usually I will watch in Japanese because the English voice actors sound cheesy, but they really did a good job. I was blown away.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much to Trip, who has super chatted
Oh, I didn't even see that.
$4.99 and says for Ripley's college funds,
That's very generous of you. Thank you, Trip. And thank you for being a member, too.
which by the year
18 years from now, somebody do 18 plus 2025. It'd be 25.
20,
I can't math.
43.
You got it. Oh, jeez. Dude,
So in the year
we're gonna
2043,
be so old.
oh man, $4.99 probably won't even get you a pittance of.
Better invest it in Bitcoin.
Hey, you want a Tootsie Roll? That'll be $10.99. You know, like I don't know.
Better start saving now.
It's like we need to stop inflation. You know? Anyways, thank you, Trip. That's awesome.
Very
That'll
nice.
It probably won't go to funds, but it will get Ripley her dad a coffee.
A pumpkin spice, perhaps.
Perhaps pumpkin spice.
But yeah, so I've been thinking about. It just got me thinking a lot about Final Fantasy, and it was interesting because I was thinking about how before YouTube there was a lot of Flash animation, and the two games that everybody always talked about was Ocarina of Time and Final Fantasy VII. Which one was the greatest video game of all time? So it just got me thinking a lot about Final Fantasy VII lately.
You know, I was actually thinking about that old debate a lot lately, and I'll say this. I think that at the time, Ocarina of Time was the best Zelda game, and in my opinion was the best Zelda game until perhaps Breath of the Wild. Right, yeah. Because I think Breath of the Wild, although I will, and we talked about this at the time, although I don't think the story is as strong in Breath of the Wild because it is clearly made to be a free roam, do whatever, the gameplay in Breath of the Wild is so fun and so addictive, and it goes back to the roots of Zelda, which is just adventuring and going wherever.
Yep.
I think that Breath of the Wild probably takes the cake, although I still love Ocarina of Time. I'll say this. Today, though, what I think, you know, like when people think of Zelda now, I think they're really thinking of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Old guys like us will still talk about Ocarina of Time, but that's because we're old. I think that ultimately, the game that has, you know, the game of the 90s, the game of you know, the game that I think has shown that it is I won't say superior, but the game that has shown that it has that real long-lasting nostalgia probably is Final Fantasy VII. I think that Final Fantasy VII has shown over time that was the legacy game, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it was just interesting because, like I said, I haven't even played the Final Fantasy VII game. I've watched you play it a little bit here and there, but I never played it. But just hearing the music, immediately,
Nobuo Uematsu soundtracks,
just the nostalgia just hit me like a brick wall the other day because I have so many memories of hanging out with you. And like when we were in high school, you'd be playing that song on the piano, and then like even after high school, I'd drive over to film some Super Mario Bros. And as soon as I walked in, you were just playing on your parents' piano. So anyway, I guess I've been thinking a lot about Final Fantasy VII this week. Do we know? Is there any ETA, any rumors about the third part?
I mean, they're working on it, but you know, it's
going to be a while.
You know, knowing Square, it'll probably be at least a couple more years, and that's fine. We have some more super chat.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, by the way, Karaka, did you ever say how to pronounce your name? Because I feel so bad thinking that I might have mispronounced it. But thank you so much for your generous super chat. Thoughts on Tears of the Kingdom compared to Breath of the Wild?
You know, it's so funny you ask that because the other day when I was testing AI, I typed in, can you give me a comparison of the similarities and the differences between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So here's my honest answer. I never played Tears of the Kingdom. I played a ton of Breath of the Wild. I didn't play Tears of the Kingdom. And the reason why is I got a little bit Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts on the whole build stuff. I was like, this doesn't feel Zelda-y. Now, to be fair, I read a lot of reviews on it, and I heard that people really enjoyed it, and going in the sky and going into the underground, it looked cool. But because I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, I can't give you a real comparison. I just remember I loved Breath of the Wild.
I really like Zelda games to kind of take us to a different time of Hyrule every game, you know? Like, it can work sometimes. Like, you can have your Majora's Masks, right? But that's a completely different game than Ocarina of Time. I really feel like Tears of the Kingdom is just more Breath of the Wild with a little bit of UI update and a little bit of, like, different, like, gameplay gimmicks in there. I'm not saying it's not a good game. I'm just saying, like, for me, it's like, I want to see the next iteration of Zelda. You know, where it's just more of that Zelda. You know, which again, it's fine. It's fine.
But
I would have to say Breath of
yeah,
the Wild.
I
on
will
that
say
one.
I'm really happy that they did upgrade packs for the Switch 2 to kind of up-res it. And I do need to eventually play Tears of the Kingdom, but I loved Breath of the Wild.
Thank you so much, Impotent Rage, for another generous super chat.
And this
saying,
time it was $20.
$20.
Thank you so much.
Get y'all a pumpkin spice on me, fellas, for good old time's sake. You know what, Chris? Just for Impotent Rage,
We need to go.
We should do a video where we like,
Of us actually buying it and then like do a little short on it or do a stream from
or
the
I was
car.
gonna say for $20 we could probably make a giant one.
I was gonna say for $20 we could get like
$20.
we could get a few.
I roll with gangs for $20 for a mona.
But seriously, thank you, Impotent Rage. That's very, very generous of you. So really appreciate it. That pumpkin spice latte is gonna taste delicious.
Impotent Rage. All right.
You know what else we haven't talked about, by the way?
What?
Speaking of Rockstar, Grand Theft Auto. There's obviously been a lot of new trailers, and I'll be honest, I was never that big of a Grand Theft Auto fan, but a lot of people have, I mean, it's become a meme, like X game came out before GTA 6 or so-and-so. It's like almost a meme that because they take forever. But
I mean, yeah, I'll say this. I don't like how long game development takes. But it takes so much longer because... And it's like, yes, but also they're wasting a lot of time because I know what it is. Like with Rockstar specifically, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013.
It's
That's
been
12
12
years
years
ago.
ago.
Man.
And I remember you and I, we did a Let's Play of us playing it and had it ready to go the day it came out. And then we did our live action video, but we actually recorded ourselves playing it.
I feel
on day
like
one.
I feel like I've had like 2 lifetimes.
I know.
since-
2013 was so long ago.
But I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I love GTA 5. I buy it
Every time they do a remake, PS3, PS4, PS5.
Exactly, yeah. And it's one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. So I love GTA 5. And you know, it is one of those rare games where I can wait because I can replay GTA 5 and get pretty much the same enjoyment out of it every time.
Yeah, and I remember when GTA 5 came out, I had never played a GTA game, but because I enjoyed Red Dead Redemption so much in 2010, I was like, I got to play this. And that was the first one I ever played. I never played any of the other ones, but I know GTA is such a big cultural moment. Like, it kind of captures the feel of the decade, especially since they don't make them that much anymore.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, I know it's going to be huge when it comes out, and it's going to, of course, be an amazing game because Rockstar really does a good job.
Now, I remember Chris and I way back in the day, and this, I think, was this before live streaming or was this early live streaming when we tried to do GTA 5 playthroughs?
It was Let's Plays.
It was Let's Plays, 'cause there
when-
was no live
It was back
stream.
then.
Or-
People
but it wasn't like-
you'd record yourself and then you just split it in parts. You know.
Now, GTA 6 comes out next year. It's going to be the biggest game of all time.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be huge.
Wasn't GTA 5 like the biggest game of all time?
I mean, it definitely. Well, actually,
It's like the second underneath
Minecraft actually
Minecraft,
is
you
the
know.
number one, but
is
you know what?
GTA 5 number 2?
Somebody Google it. What are the top 3?
I know
Because
it's really up
Skyrim
there.
might be right behind.
But
it.
I think it was the biggest like opening weekend or
Oh, they set
opening
records. Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
Huge
My point is GTA 6 is going to be huge. And so I will probably convince Chris that we need to do a day one midnight live stream or whatever the hell.
I always feel a little bit. I remember when we were playing, because you know, guys, we're kind of a wholesome Nintendo family channel. Like our stuff's very much like
Until we're
rated
not.
G until we're not. That's true. Because now I'm thinking of us and when until we're not. But I do remember like cringing when we're playing Grand Theft Auto and they're using like very vulgar language and very adult themes, and I was like, ooh. So we'll see.
I mean, but that's to be
play it,
expected
yeah.
when people are looking up Grand Theft Auto videos. So, you know, maybe we'll just have a nice little thing at the beginning like everyone else that's just like,
Do a disclaimer.
you know, this game is rated M if you know, blah, 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 you know, so get out of here, but actually keep watching.
Yeah. But I mean, I do want to play it, and I want to watch you play it just because it's going to be such a big cultural moment. And then there's, of course, you know, I because I was thinking of Red Dead, I was trying to see if there's any rumors about Red Dead Redemption 3. and it's not official yet. They did say that they want to keep that game universe going, so they're probably working on a Red Dead 3. But
I also, again, I can't ask for too much because, Rockstar only releases one game every 8 years or whatever. But
know.
I would love to see them do, because, everybody's like, oh, Red Dead is GTA in the Old West. Yes and no. It uses the same engine and blippity bloppity bloop. But there are differences, of course, obviously. But yeah, for the most part, it is the same kind of run and gun and, get on a horse instead of getting in a car. What you doing here, man? What was it's Dutch. Dutch was, right? Arthur! It's been a while since I played it.
I've got a plan.
I've got a
forget what his
plan,
line-
Arthur. What's that plan, Dutch? We got women and children trying to get out
Just
here.
one more job.
Oh man, I was so obsessed with that when it came out.
I know. I remember I was just thinking,
doing,
because I was
Dutch?
thinking of Red Dead, because it came out right around Halloween, so I dressed up as a cowboy for Halloween, and I was just playing that game nonstop. Ah, man, that was so fun.
Anyways,
Good
yeah. So what was the question?
Oh, I was just riffing on video games. I forget.
Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Oh, but GTA 6.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously.
Yeah, that's gonna be
and
big.
I mean, we have trailers. It's coming out next year. It's guaranteed. So they're a step ahead of Bethesda. It's like,
True.
when are we ever going to get? I don't. So obviously, we're waiting for both Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. But obviously, the urgency is with Elder Scrolls 6 because, guys, Skyrim came out in 2011.
It came out on 11/11/11.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And yeah, I had like the Alduin, remember it was on the shelf at the apartment we used to have, the
yeah.
dragon, I had.
Was that like a collector's
It
edition?
was like the
pre-order
day one
thingamajig?
pre-order
Yeah.
thing, yeah. And I don't have it anymore for reasons, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I had the Alduin statue. It was awesome. I love Skyrim. Skyrim is another top, GTA 5, Skyrim, in no particular order. GTA 5, Skyrim, Minecraft, Final Fantasy, whatever. Just insert number here that I feel at the
whatever
moment.
the flavor of the week is for Rich.
And Chrono Trigger. Those are probably my top favorite games until I remember other games like Resident Evil 2, Metal Gear Solid. We can go on, but I don't know. Those are the games I play the most. I'm an old soul. I play the same stuff over and over.
I know what you mean. I've kind of gotten into a groove where I have a few games I just kind of get comfortable with. So my rotation is World of Warcraft, Classic WoW, Stardew Valley.
Yes, you can.
I finally took a break from Fall Guys. I was obsessed with that for like 4 years, and I finally kind of got burned out on it. But yeah, mostly my comfort game, if I just want to zone out, is World of Warcraft. So that's mine. And I know yours is Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft is Minecraft. And just when I think I've had enough Minecraft, either a new update comes out or I discover a new mod and I'm just like, whoo, and I'm back in it. And I keep promising. The problem is I've tried to do those Minecraft videos before, but then I get too distracted by the things that I want to do in Minecraft instead of what I should actually do, which is educational Minecraft videos. Hey, here's the fastest way to get an iron pick. The problem is I'm too impatient, and I'm just like, whoa, let's build this house out of the coolest wood we can find right now. There's some merit to that too. But the problem is this audience, that's right, you guys. You guys don't want to watch me play Minecraft. You want us to just do this, which is fine. This is easier.
This is your hangout with your YouTube best friends from a bazillion years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, random Final Fantasy question for you, Rich, because I know your answers change over the years. What's your favorite Final Fantasy game?
So, gun to my head, Chris, as I say, and I think the reason why obviously one of the reasons my opinion has changed over the years is because they kept releasing Final Fantasy games, When I was younger, Final Fantasy VI was my definite favorite. And when Final Fantasy VII first came out, I remember thinking it's cool, but I was a big fan of the way that it had been, and I at first didn't think that it had been translated to 3D very well. I was very used to Final Fantasy for the first 6 games being a thing, and then Sorry, I'm in the middle of hiccups here. And then Final Fantasy VII was obviously very different. Well, now compared to modern Final Fantasy, you could say it's actually very much the same in a lot of ways. But back then, it seemed very different. And so at first, I was like not super about it. I thought it was really cool, but I was like, well, it still doesn't quite beat the characters and the story of 6. And then Final Fantasy VIII came out, and it was also very different, and I loved Final Fantasy VIII. And it kind of took Final Fantasy VIII for me to appreciate 7 more, because I loved, and I know a lot of people are divided on Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is definitely...
That was your favorite at one point, because
You
I
know,
remember when I first met you,
yeah, I was
you
gonna
were
say, like-
at a Final Fantasy VIII was your favorite, and you were upset because so many people like 7, and they thought that it was the first of the series,
Yeah.
that they were disappointed that they didn't get like 7 Part 2.
So a lot of things during middle school and high school, a lot of things happened to me. I became a little bit of a hipster. And so there was 2 things going on. 1, I just really liked Final Fantasy VIII. But 2, a lot of people didn't like Final Fantasy VIII. So I felt like I had to be the guy that loved Final Fantasy VIII because it is a great game. And just to be like, people that are like, I get confused with the junction system. Oh, why is the sorceress going through time? Why is it so confusing? And I just be like, I don't know. You're lame. It's my favorite. And, and it was my favorite for a while until I was like, but you know what? And then I replayed 6 and I was like, 6 does have this great story. And Kefka is like the only Final Fantasy villain to actually succeed in his plans. And like, I'm just like, man, what a great, impactful story. And then I keep coming back to Final Fantasy 7 and I'm like, you know what? 7's really good. And I think just like how like I need other things to remind me of other things, it's like by the time we get to Remake and then I play through Remake and then after playing Remake I go back and play the original again, I was like, you know what? I think the best Final Fantasy game probably was Final Fantasy VII.
Wow.
Because it made all the impacts in all the right places. And it's, again, nostalgia. But if it was pure nostalgia, then I'd still be staying Final Fantasy VI. But, Final Fantasy VII really is a great game, and I really love the character dynamics in there. And I think there's a reason why we keep going back to that story again and again and again. And just like the whole, Cloud versus Sephiroth and the music and everything. It's like, listen, there's a lot of great Final Fantasy games. I think that, you could argue for either of them. 6, 7, 8, or even 10. You could argue
like
any
10,
of those as
yeah.
the best in the series. But then why do we have 2 separate, soon to be 3 separate remakes of Final Fantasy VII?
7's the one.
Seven's
that
the
people
GOAT.
keep coming back to. Yeah, I think that's a great thing. It's funny. Some of my favorite memories hanging out with Rich over the years when we first started becoming friends. Rich, back when people had iPods, half of his iPod was Final Fantasy VII original soundtracks or remixes. So we'd be driving around in the car, going to our favorite fast food places, and Rich would be giving me this detailed breakdown of all of his favorite Final Fantasy games. Here's another.
I could wax poetically about
What?
it for hours.
I don't think I've ever asked you this question, and I'm going to put you on the spot again with a choice.
Oh boy, are you
What's
Barbara Walters all
Your
of a sudden?
favorite Final Fantasy music, your favorite song in all of Final Fantasy, if you had to pick one.
Ooh. You know what's funny? The first thing that popped into my head was "Dear Friends" from Final Fantasy V, which is the do 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 do. See, Chris knows it because he's heard me
used
play.
it in
And
so
then it
much
goes,
of our
"Do,
music.
do, do 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 do," like the flutes in the back. Do 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 do.
That surprises me. I'm impressed. I'll tell you what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say Blam Garden from 8.
Also great.
Or you were going to say the theme from 7.
Also fantastic.
Or you were going to do a curveball and say the prelude music, the do-do-do. Yeah.
I mean, that's throughout the whole series.
Also good.
Also good, yeah.
Or you were going to do that curveball and do the Final Fantasy X deleted sound, nostalgia,
Ooh.
that we used to use in all of our
I mean, that is
Noxdesias.
really cool.
Yeah.
But is it the best song?
Is it the best song?
No.
So are you going to go with...
I'm going to go with Dear Friends because that's what popped into my head. I'm like, oh.
Interesting.
I love that song. And Final Fantasy V also just doesn't get enough love. Otherwise, I mean, you could pick almost any song from 6,
Yeah, yeah.
and half of the soundtrack of 8
You
is
had
fantastic.
You used it in one of our unlisted videos, but it was the one that goes da 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 da. Is that 6? And then there was a version where a woman was singing lyrics. You know what I'm talking about?
No, you're
It was a special cover version.
no, so 6 goes which is Terra's theme also. Final Fantasy 6 is oh god, now I've got all the music stuck in my head.
I'm getting rich
hold
going.
on to the song you were just thinking
yeah,
of, okay?
yeah,
no, Final Fantasy 6 is do 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 do, which is great. No, but what you're doing, sing what you were doing again.
Da, 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 da,
I think-
da, da, da.
Oh, that's 4. Final Fantasy 4.
Oh,
That's
that
Final
was
Fantasy
4.
Thank God nobody put it in the
Right.
comments because I didn't want to be like,
Ah.
like, no. That's you're thinking of the theme from Final Fantasy 4, which, honestly, Final Fantasy 4 also in the argument
Really good,
of best
underrated.
Final Fantasy game. And that had its own share of remakes. They put it on the DS as well. EDMG, thank you for your super chat. Says, but Rich, what about the... I can't even finish it. What about the majesty of Final Fantasy 13? Now, everybody knows that I threw a fit when that game came out. 'cause
Multiple YouTube newses and a Wiki Richie about it.
I think the Wiki Richie was my favorite. Remember that show I did for 6 months called Wiki Richie? I kind of wish that I kept going, but I remember it was so hard to make.
well, it was very
Because
high.
we were trying to be like JonTron level editing.
We were John, yeah.
But JonTron has like a team of editors, and it
Yeah.
was just me. And maybe some input from Dominic on that, I can't remember. But yeah, the Wiki Richie was very highly produced stuff. And then we had a YouTube news on it, And yeah, it's just, so here's the thing. Looking back, I probably was being too much of a...
I was expecting to be like, perhaps I judged you too harshly. The famous line.
Yeah, no.
you're like, no, I didn't.
It's still not good, but I think that I was being too... I think here's the real lesson. I was being too negative. and it's the one thing in my life that I constantly have to... Because I know even on these streams, sometimes I'm like... I think that I made too much of a stink about it, and I should have been more like, it's okay. But no, I had to like make a rant and a rant and a rant on top of a rant about
Sometimes
it.
you might be hamming up the hate
But at the
train 'cause-
time,
yeah.
Final Fantasy was my favorite series, and I felt like they just took a big fat dump on it. So, it's how I reacted. God, when did that game come out? 2009? So 16 years
Was
ago?
it really that?
So what, I was 21 years old or something? God.
That's a long time ago.
Anyways,
Yeah.
it was hard not to be angsty 21-year-old Rich Alvarez when they did a big fat dookie on my favorite series.
And I think obviously you have so many hopes and high expectations.
It was the first Final Fantasy to not have any involvement from Nobuo Uematsu.
yeah.
So we got... No, he might have helped with the end theme, because I know somebody's gonna say, "Well, actually, Nobuo helped with..." He might have, but he didn't contribute really.
Instead, he went and made the theme song for Brawl. Smash
Oh, that's
Bros.
right.
Brawl.
See, that was cool. Hinobu Sakaguchi had left Square. He's the creator of the series. The only long-standing person I think involved with that was Tetsuya. Who designed the characters. Looked cool. He did a great job designing the characters. But I don't know. There's something missing in 13, and also, it is very linear. It's not much of an adventure. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Tronfield. I want to say, Mr. Tronfield the second Esquire or something. Mr. Tronfield says, what would you like to see in a new Animal Crossing? Personally, I want rude villagers to come back like the original game.
Great question. I played a ton of Animal Crossing GameCube. I played Animal Crossing GameCube probably more than any of the other Animal Crossings. I did like New Horizons on the Switch, though. But to answer your question, the one thing I really liked about Animal Crossing on the GameCube is inside the game, you could collect NES games. And I remember playing a lot of Balloon Fighters, which was fun. And I think that there were hacks where you could get the Zelda game. But I thought that was really cool. So being able to play a video game in your video game, I'd like to see them bring that back. But I agree with you. Having rude villagers, definitely lively personalities, that would be fun too. But great question. And then maybe some of the music, because some of the music from the original Animal Crossing on the GameCube was really, really good, like the Rainy Day song, and then a few of the others. But anyway, I love me some Animal Crossing GameCube. I hope they bring it back.
Sorry, I was just trying to get this cat's attention, but like I noticed like on the screen it looks like I'm trying to like tickle Chris over here. No, I'm just trying to get this cat's attention. This is Vanellope. Vanellope. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Jump. Jump over here.
Yeah, she's giving you nothing.
You can see her head on the
There she
on the
is. You can
screen.
see her.
Well, anyways, that's Vanellope. Like, anyways, okay, I'm giving you all, we've been going for over an hour and a half. 2 more minutes. You got 2 more minutes to submit your questions. Oh.
She.
You got it.
she
You got
changed
it.
her
Hey,
mind.
do it again. Do it again.
What's her favorite?
Ooh. He.
She getting a little shy.
Now she's too distracted by you.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. She just goes right back to you.
That's
She's too
okay.
distracted by you.
Welcome, Marty Man. Marty Man said, "Happy Mario 40th anniversary." That's right. That's coming up.
Well,
Like,
it's now,
or
right?
Right
Well,
now, I guess.
So here's the funny part. It's actually the 43rd anniversary. Okay, or
I was gonna say,
44th. Okay,
what are they
so,
counting? What's the start of the count?
So
Is
the
it
reason it's the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers on the NES,
NES.
which
Oh.
came out in '85, and now it's 2025. So that's 40 years.
Right.
Although we all know that Mario's first appearance was in 1981 on Donkey Kong.
You know, I was gonna
so
say-
technically it's the 44th anniversary, but it's the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers.
I was laughing because I was thinking we made this point in our Gangnam Style
Yeah.
video when you said, "I'm Mario, been kicking ass
Since
since
81.
81."
No, not 85, 'cause I was in Donkey Kong, fool. Yeah. Which, by the way, is still our most popular video at over 6 million views and growing.
Jeez, yeah, 6 million views. And we made that around this time. It was September of 2012. You guys remember 2012 with all the meme songs like Gangnam Style and Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen? And then in
Those were the memeable days.
the meme era. Good times. Good times.
People are like, what, you mean you're not memeing like Sabrina Carpenter? Like a bunch of stuff that I
Oh,
just
like
don't
all the
care.
new stuff that we're
Actually, the funny
of
thing
the-
is
out of
I
the-
actually now know one Sabrina Carpenter song, but that's because it was parodied in a TikTok video that I was watching. So now I know one.
I'm kind of out of the loop on new music. But that's how it goes. But anyway, yes, 40th anniversary for Mario.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. You got 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Get those questions in.
Well, I guess just to circle all the way back to what we started this on, I am excited for the Mario Galaxy movie.
Penelope's your co-host.
Yeah, what do you think, Vanellope?
What do you think, Penelope?
You want to hold the microphone?
Ooh, I didn't think she was gonna like
Yeah, she boom.
nose bump the. Oh, here she comes.
Someone's got something to say. Someone's got something.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
what a
just
cute
trying to
little
be
kitty.
cute now. Hello. Oh, she's slipping. All right.
Anyway, I'm excited for the new Mario Galaxy movie, and I guess since we're kind of in the wrapping up phase, I want to say I'm actually really impressed at how many of you guys tuned in tonight. Usually we don't do live streams on a Friday night.
No, usually we'll do like Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, we usually do Saturday afternoon. Every once in a blue moon, we might do a Sunday afternoon. So, I mean, there's like 50 people plus in the chat right now. So I just wanted to say thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Maybe Friday nights are actually a decent time to stream.
It's Friday night.
But one more time, I did want to say thank you to everybody who super chatted today. Thank you to all the people in our members group, and of course, one more special shout out to Impotent Rage, who has the crown #1 by their name right now because the YouTube AI chat has determined that I think you're the most chatty today, and very very generous with the super chat. So thank you, Impotent Rage.
That's so many jokes I want to make.
I think I missed something, but
Thank you,
we'll leave
Impotent
it at
Rage. Anyways, I think that's gonna do it for us. We actually went longer than I thought we would because, as Chris said, we got 55 people watching. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna call it there. Chris, any final thoughts?
Well, I guess I would just say if you guys want a new anime to watch, check out Clavitas. It's awesome. If you want a good video game to play Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth. They seem pretty good. I've been watching the cutscenes. And watch the 3 movies recommended by Rich. Superman, Fantastic Four, and Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
I haven't seen any of them. I need to do that. But this was a good chat.
This was a good.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys made the chat very lively. It was fun just kind of reading your guys' comments and yeah.
You debuted your kid.
Oh yeah.
And you all got to see my new 4-month-old baby. So that was fun.
Debut on YouTube.
That was fun
Baby
for all
Ripley.
of us.
Especially her.
Especially her. She was just like... All right, well, bye, guys.
Have a wonderful day.
And an even more pleasant tomorrow.
I'm going to sign us off. Rich, you want to sign us off with, I don't know, your favorite Final Fantasy song?
Oh, no, I don't remember which one I was. No, it was do 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 do. And then while I'm doing that, you gotta go do do do. Do, 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 do.
I don't know it good enough to do that.
Yeah, well, we'll get there.
And that song's called...
Hey, we should bring back Nerds Acapella. Remember that back in the day? Nah.
I wanted to say that song is called...
Oh, that was Dear Friends from Final Fantasy V.
And you guys are our dear friends for watching this live stream.
That's right.
Anyway, I'm going to hit the end button here. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace
Oh,
out.
please subscribe. Sorry, somebody, Smarty Man said do it. Real
Please
quick.
subscribe. It's free and easy. Just like signing off a live stream. All right.
I think we did that joke already a long time ago.
I'm hitting end, guys. So take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.